Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man issues 211 to 212, which both standalone stories have a common theme, water, which is very odd for Spider-Man. In the first one, we have Spidey having to deal with the Submariner, which would also set up the framework for a team-up between Spider-Man and Namor in the very near future. And then we get the first appearance of Hydro Man, a classic Spider-Man villain. Even though he's not like a big A-lister, I always love this character. I guess I could also mention that in the issue prior to this, we had the first appearance of Madam Web. I was going to cover that story, but it's not that interesting. The only cool thing about that issue is that big splash page where we get to see Madam Web and her whole life support system. But basically, as a character, she's going to be a shortcut for Spider-Man to be able to resolve problems more quickly. If Spidey's stumped and he can't resolve a problem, just calls Madam Web. She points him in the right direction. That's it. That's how that character works. So in issue 211, we have Namor. He's attacking this scientific vessel. It seems that they're running experiments too close to Atlantis, and they have run into Namor's classic fist first diplomacy. So we have the crew back on dry land, and basically they don't want to go out to sea anymore. They're rebelling against their captain. Now the captain to this vessel, he is an acquaintance of Spider-Man. They had actually met when Kraven brought all these animals to New York City, and Callisto had set them all free so Kraven can go out into the city and show off what a great hunter he was. And this captain was the one that helped Spidey to capture these animals and put them back into cages. So what happens is, just out of chance, Spider-Man saves this captain from his crew. I think his name is Whitman, if I remember correctly. But the thing is that he asked Spider-Man, look, can you be like a bodyguard on our next, I'm not sure how to call it, expedition, voyage. The thing is, they have to do the science thing out in the middle of the sea, and they need help to deal with the Submariner. But the thing is, Spider-Man is really not down for giving them a hand. And he explains, look, I'm a city hero. I don't work well without buildings. Being surrounded by water is not my element. So what happens is Spider-Man pieces out. He leaves the captain behind. But after talking to Aunt May, he gets a skill trip. He decides to go back. So now we have Spider-Man on board the ship. They're at high sea. Obviously, Namor attacks. Now, at least for me, Namor should be able to destroy Spider-Man, especially they're at high sea. And at least for me, it's almost unbelievable. It feels like Spidey's battle against Firelord. Namor is a pretty heavy hitter. Look, he can go toe-to-toe against Thor or Hulk. So Spider-Man should be a cakewalk for him. But the thing is, the battle gets to sort of like the standstill, and Spidey and Namor sort of talk things out, and we overcome this superhero misunderstanding and this whole situation with the experiment. So what happens is they explain to Namor, look, we could just go a couple kilometers that way, and if that's okay with you, we'll just leave this place. And the Submariner is like, sure. So we have this whole crisis is averted. Everyone's happy. We go into the next issue. So now we finally have the experiment, and obviously things go wrong. One of the crewmen gets knocked into the sea because he was like slacking off behind some crates. That Spider-Man accidentally knocks over and knocks him into the sea, trying to save the scientific machine. So what happens is, so this guy's name is Morris Bench, and obviously he's going to convert into Hydro Man. When the ship returns back to land, Morris is not feeling great. He seems to be a guy with a chip on his shoulder. He seems to have a lot of problems, and he discovers that he has these new water powers. So first he sets out to take vengeance on anyone that gave him a hard time during his life. And it seems that Bench has a criminal past, so he's not like the nicest guy out there. And he wants to take vengeance on Spider-Man because of this whole accident. Now, how Hydro Man tries to set out and find Spidey in the first place, it's priceless. He travels through water and through all the pipes of New York City, and he just pops up all over the place, scaring the crap out of a lot of people. So finally, we get the confrontation between Hydro Man and Spidey. He actually does it in the worst place possible, on top of a building. And what happens is the battle draws on way too long, and the heat starts getting to him, and he just loses cohesion. Spidey deals the final blow, and we get the end of the issue. So we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.